So let's just picture this. Sunday evening, end of a nice long weekend, maybe cozying down with some of your favorite TV shows or whatever it may be. And you get a phone call. Turns out there's a fire at your rental property. Good news is the tenants are okay, nobody got hurt. You agree to put your tenants up the night in a hotel, and we can pick up the pieces tomorrow. So what's not resolved is who pays for them to have a place to stay for the next 6 weeks. And after all, they just paid this month's rent. Most of their clothes and their electronics and their personal belongings and their couch and their bed have been damaged. It could be the smoke, the water, the fire, name it, okay? There's also the issue of who caused the fire. Is it, part of the property or part of the tenant's fault, or what was really behind it? Turns out, tenants don't have renter's insurance. Now you got a big problem. In fact, you may have a court date. Let's play out the scenario a little differently. If they had renter's insurance, you wouldn't have to worry about who was going to be paying for the place to stay while this is all being sorted out and being repaired. You wouldn't have to be worrying about the cost of their replacement of their personal property, or if they were going to be replaced by you or not. You would also not have to be concerned about who caused the fire. That would be between the two insurance companies. You may also not have to be worrying about if your insurance company is going to cancel you or not. In fact, you may not be worried about whether you have a court date or not, because with insurance, it's all handled. With insurance, it's kind of funny. At the time, at least in the beginning, you often might feel like, I don't really need it. And then when you're at a loss and you don't really have much, and then yet you got to go replace everything you have, you're in a really bad spot. As opposed to if you had the renter's insurance, your limited wardrobe and your old electronics and everything would be replaced. From the tenant's point of view, they get brand new everything. And in fact, so does the landlord on their settlement. Everybody's got a new place. They're living better afterwards, after this event, often, with there's insurance. There's no insurance, they're in a real place of loss and crisis. So at the time, it's hard to visualize how much you'll really appreciate having that, especially those people that are not in the position to just go write a bunch of checks and buy a new TV set and buy a new wardrobe. It's those people, those very people, that probably benefit the most from getting that check and be able to replace their items. So landlords, tenants, it's only human nature that they would feel like, they might not need it. But it's really your job to make sure that they have it. It protects you and them. So here's some tips. First of all, make sure that you include in your lease, having your lease agreement, that the tenants are required to have renter's insurance. Second of all, make sure that you don't turn over the keys until they've provided you proof of insurance. And third, make sure that you're included as an additional interest on the insurance policy. So if they let the policy lapse or they cancel it, that you get notice from the insurance company so that you can help do your job to make sure that they actually have tenant insurance in place. And number 4, renter's insurance isn't that expensive, and it can often be even less expensive if you combine it with your other insurances. So if you have auto insurance or life insurance, by bundling them together, you'll find out it's even less expensive than you may have thought. Number 5, little tip, document your belongings. Even if it's just a matter of going through with the cell phone, I know you have, and videoing your belongings, going room through room, or taking digital pictures and saving those somewhere too. In case you do have to make a claim, it would be nice to have documentation of your belongings. For me, as a landlord or a property manager, the most important reason for a tenant to have renter's insurance is in the unfortunate occasional situation where there is a problem, is that both the landlord and the tenant can really be on the same side of the table. They're both working together, not against each other, that they're both able to get through the process, and you don't have to worry about a friction or conflict between the landlord and the tenant. So at the end of the day, that really just kind of, it takes so much of the fun out of it. It just puts an extra stress on there that doesn't need to be there. And if you just don't want to mess with all of this, hire a professional property manager who does, like the Mike Dunfee Group. This is something that my team and I follow up on to make sure that your tenant has the proper renter's insurance and that you're taken care of.